Let's start with Enoch to set the stage, actually, because he gives us an understanding of what the atmosphere is made of and what its purpose is as far as the heavens and the earth go. Because we need to understand the signs of the times, and we need to understand the nature of the heavens and the earth, which has been revealed to us now in these recent years. So in Enoch chapter 18, he sees the treasuries of the winds, and he explains them a little bit. I'm going to read a few verses. This is verse 1. I saw the treasuries of all the winds. I saw how he had furnished with them the whole creation and the firm foundations of the earth. And I saw the cornerstone of the earth. I saw the four winds which bear the earth and the firmament of the heaven. And I saw how the winds stretch out the vaults of heaven and have their station between heaven and earth. These are the pillars of the heaven. I saw the winds of the heaven which turn and bring the circumference of the sun and all the stars to their setting. I saw the winds on the earth carrying the clouds. I saw the path of the angels. I saw at the end of the earth the firmament of the heaven above. So, right there, I want to just reiterate a couple things that Enoch said there. He saw how God had furnished with the winds the firm foundations of the earth. And he saw the four winds which bear the earth and the firmament of heaven. That means to hold it up, to support it, to bear it. Okay? So then he says that the winds stretch out the vaults of heaven and have their station between heaven and earth. These are the pillars of the heaven. The pillars of the heaven. Okay? Okay, in Enoch chapter 56, verse 8, it says, In those days Sheol shall open its jaws, and they shall be swallowed up therein, and their destruction shall be at an end. Sheol shall devour the sinners in the presence of the elect. And in Enoch 57 is where he sees some of this that's on our screen here. Maybe not specifically this, but he sees men in wagons riding on the four winds. Let's read it. And it came to pass after this that I saw another host of wagons, and men riding thereon, and coming on the winds from the east, and from the west to the south. And the noise of their wagons was heard. And when this turmoil took place, the holy ones from heaven remarked it, and the pillars of the earth were moved from their place, and the sound thereof was heard from the one end of heaven to the other in one day. So it was men riding in wagons that made a noise so loud that the heavens shook, and it moved the pillars of the earth out of their place. And so Enoch started to see some destruction happening. And then in chapter 60, Michael explains what it was. So let's read that. In the year 500, in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month in the life of Enoch, in that parable, I saw how a mighty quaking made the heaven of heavens to quake. And the host of the Most High, and the angels 1,000 thousands and 10,000 times 10,000, were disquieted with a great disquiet. And the head of days sat on the throne of his glory, and the angels and the righteous stood around him. And a great trembling seized me, and fear took hold of me. and my loins gave way, and dissolved were my reins, and I fell upon my face. And Michael sent another angel from among the holy ones, and he raised me up, and when he raised me up, my spirit returned, for I had not been able to endure the look of this host, and the commotion and the quaking of heaven. And Michael said unto me, Why art thou disquieted with such a vision? Until this day lasted the day of his mercy, and he hath been merciful and long-suffering towards those who dwell on the earth. And when the day and the power and the punishment and the judgment come, which the Lord of spirits hath prepared for those who worship not the righteous law, and for those who deny righteous judgment, and for those who take his name in vain, that day is prepared. For the elect a covenant, but for sinners an inquisition. So we see that Enoch was shown some of these things, and he was actually shown a vision of what it would look like. And we'll read that right now. Okay, this is Enoch chapter 83, verse 3. I had laid me down in the house of my grandfather, Mahalalel, and when I saw in a vision how the heaven collapsed and was borne off and fell to the earth. And when it fell to the earth, I saw how the earth was swallowed up in a great abyss, and mountains were suspended on mountains, and hills sank down on hills, and high trees were rent from their stems, and hurled down and sunk in the abyss. And whereupon a word fell into my mouth, and I lifted up my voice to cry aloud, and said, The earth is destroyed. So the four winds of heaven. Haven't we heard about the four winds of heaven? Let's go to Revelation 7. That rhymed. And after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. So these four angels holding back the four winds are being warred against by this SpaceX Dragon that's on your screen. And John saw this in Revelation 12. Verse 3, there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the third part of stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Then in Revelation 13, verse 11, John says, And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, which causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Do you see this? This is the same man that has the Falcon 9 rocket that makes fire come down from heaven with the two horns on the side of it. This is satellites he put up in God's sanctuary and defiling it. Called Starlink. Daniel had a vision. He described 4 beasts, and the 4th one had 10 horns. And then Daniel was considering the horns, and there came up among them another horn, where they were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And in this horn were the eyes of man and a mouth speaking great things. This is the dragon capsule. It is conical shaped. And there you go. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.